Hi, welcome to A Talk About. I'm here with another Redwall book review. This one is The Long Patrol by Brian Jacques. The hare Tamela deformella tassac, or just Tamo, lives in the northeast at Camp Tassac, which is run by his father, a retired hare of the Long Patrol. He was a colonel, and he doesn't get along with his father. And his mother helps him run away with the help of a traveling squirrel named Russa Nadre, and because he wants to go and join the Long Patrol. On the southeast coast, Ormed Tum, first blade of all rapscallions, dies, and his two sons have to fight to the death for his position. And Demig Warfang is the winner through trickery, and he has to toss his father's sword, which is one side's flat, one side's wavy, to figure out which way they should go, either by sea or by land. And through trickery, he has his army of over 1,000 go by land now. Lady Crega Roseeyes is mad that no one has found any signs of rapscallions in a long time, and she sends out scouts to find out where they have gone to. She hasn't seen them since they fought near Salamandastron. Tamo has many adventures along his way to Redwall, where the plan is to meet up with Long Patrol the hares there who they go to Redwall often. But along the way, he comes onto a few Long Patrol hares who are out patrolling, led by Major Perigord, and they join together going to Redwall. Redwall, in the meantime, is having a great problem. The south wall is crumbling. The Rapscallion army decides to go to Redwall to conquer it after having heard from a scout of its problem with the wall. Logalog, leader of the Shrews, and Gurgen Spearback, a hedgehog on the river, both have seen the Rapscallions, and they decided to go to Redwall to help out and warn them of the coming army. The hares Midge and Tamo disguise themselves and try to convince the Rapscallions to where they want to fight, where they want the battle to take place. And so basically all these sides that you're following all come together and clash in a great final battle. Some of the characters that stood out to me in this book, one of course is Tamo, the hare, the main character I would say of this book. And you're following his path. He's this young hare who's wild and adventurous, and he discovers the real world and how brutal and tough it can be, and his journey through it and finding out what his path will be. I really like this character. And you have the great rat, Demig Warfang, the leader of all the villains in this book. And he is very smart and cunning. He's always listening and full of trickery. And his punishments are very brutal if he discovers anything he doesn't like. One of my favorite characters in this book, actually, in a simple way, was Loosewort, friend of Sneezewort, which they have fun, interesting names. The villains a lot of times have these interesting names in the Redwall series. And I really liked Loosewort because you kind of follow his path in the Rapscallion army. You get to see, and from his point of view, where he's a lower person in the army, and then his rise and fall and rise under different circumstances that happen in the army. And it's just very fun and interesting to follow him. I really like this take on the villains in this book. And you have Major Perigord, who is the leader of a small group of Long Patrol hares that Tamo comes upon, and he helps Redwall, and he's a very good leader, something to depend on, kind of a father figure in a way. You also have Redwall's warrior, Arvin, who's a leader in counseling for different problems. And you also have other characters from another book. You have Cracklin, you have Addis Tansy, and a lot of different characters you'll see from a previous book. You have the squirrel Russa Nadre, who's the traveler that Tamo helps Tamo out, for him to go and become who he wants to be. And she's someone who no one knows where she comes from originally. She's always like traveling throughout her life, and she really knows the world and is skilled in it. And you have Lady Crega Rose-Eyes, Badger Lord of Salamandastron and the Long Patrol Hares, and she has one of the most fearsome blood wraths of any badger, and just continuously stays with her through a lot of the book. It's continuous through a lot of the book, and she just really wants revenge and to really take out these villains, this huge amount of villains, over 1,000, these rapscallions who has really destroyed this area of the world. And you have Gurgen Spearback, friend of Logalog, who's a fearsome, wild character, a hedgehog, leader of hedgehogs on the river, and he helps out Redwall as this fearsome warrior leader that comes to Redwall. I personally really enjoyed this book. You get to see the point of view of the Long Patrol Hares, who are always patrolling the whole land from Salamandastron to the Moslar Forest and beyond. And of course, it's a lot about battle because that's what they have to deal with. And I really liked finding out more about the old history of Redwall through the wall crumbling and different things you find out that you hear about in other books, and the connection of it in that part of the story. And I also like Tamo, and trying to figure out where he's going, the things he encounters, what he thought he was, and what will he become. The map of this book shows a little bit of the Eastlands and the battle site. The most main important thing about this map of this book is the East Coast, the Eastern Coast it shows. Outside of that, though, I don't find this map the most interesting map, though it's always interesting. I love having maps for every Redwall book, and it really gives you a lot of interest and depth. I like books in general who have maps, but I think the most important part of this map is the Eastern Coast, Southeastern Coast that it shows. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content on this channel. Thanks for watching.